My deck profile for Dark World. Over the next few days I'll be giving you guys multiple different Dark World deck profiles because there's a lot of different ways to build Dark World and all of them are really good. They're just different for what you want to achieve. So this is guideless Dark World, no tour guide. You got your 3 Grapha because he's the best card in the deck and he's the reason the deck exists. Without Grapha, the deck doesn't work. Staple searches all the cards you want. It's a good target. 2k attack under gates. Target for deck dev. Triple Brow. Brow just does whatever. He's a searcher. He gets under bottomless if you don't have gates up. Although if you have gates up, he doesn't get under bottomless. He gets to draw 1. He's an easy advantage gainer. And I play 1 beige because you need a card that you can special summon to put multiple Graphas on the field on the same turn. But you also need a monster you can normal summon to put a Grapha on the field. So that's all beige is good for, and that's why you want to keep him. So onto spells. Play triple Gates. 3 Gates, because Gates is probably the best card in the deck. Not really, Grapha is. But Gates is a nice recurring discard outlet. Dealings are your generic discard outlet. Depending on the event you're going to, you might want to drop down to 2 Dealings, because if a lot of people are going to be playing Dark World at that event, you don't want to main deck the Dealings. You never want to activate Dealings turn 1 unless you know exactly what your opponent's playing, otherwise you could see yourself minusing 2 cards from your hand. Probably a lot of people want this card to be banned, limited, whatever. This card is extremely broken. Discard 1 card from your opponent's hand and get your Dark World effect to go off. Thank you. So it's nice to have the drag down still there. Drag down really helps this deck a lot. Heavy Storm. It's the only actual staple I play in this deck. I don't play Monster Reborn or Dark Hole. You obviously don't need the Dark Hole because Graphic can run over everything. Monster Reborn, I take it in and out depending on whatever. You kind of want to have it, but you also don't need it a lot of the times, so I probably should put it back in, but whatever. Triple Upstart. Life points don't mean anything, and getting your deck thinner is great. It helps you draw through the deck faster. This is actually an extremely fast variant of Dark World. You will win so fast with this deck, or at least draw through your entire deck really, really fast. So a lot of people don't play 1 day apiece in their Dark World deck, because doesn't really make sense to, but if you can activate this in main phase 2 after attacking with Grapha, you can activate this on the first turn. You can start the game out really slow and then explode later on and completely devastate your opponent. So 1 day apiece is really good. It helps you speed your deck up. In card destruction, you open card destruction, you win. At least that's what theoretically happens. Trap lineup is pretty heavy, as you can see here. Triple Reckless Greed, play 3 or play none. With the amount of draw power this deck has, you definitely want to play 3. You'll find your other 2 copies pretty fast. Okay, so this card was used in Tyler Tabman's Final Countdown deck, and then it was used again in Dong Lao's Dark World build that top 32'd at European Nationals, or European World Championship Qualifier, whatever they play over there. It's really, really good in this deck because you add life points with Upstart, you take a lot of hits while you set up, and then of course when you play triple Skill Drain, you take some damage there too. So with Hope for Escape, you can really speed up your deck, and Skill Drain is absolutely devastating this format, last format, and it probably will be for a lot of formats to come. I also played triple Dark Bribe like Dong Lao because Dark Bribe is ridiculous. If you play Protect the Skill Drain and you have a Graph on the field with Gates, there's almost nothing in this entire game that can get over it. I mean, they can put an Acid Golem in defense mode, but eventually you will get over Acid Golem with your extra deck, and they'll be stuck. And then lastly, Solemn Judgment. Last card in the deck that you want to play, Solemn Judgment, because it's really nice to be able to stop anything, and it's your 4th negation. So theoretically, you negate Heavy Storm, Mystical Space Typhoon, Mystical Space Typhoon, Mystical Space Typhoon. They're out of ways to get over your Skill Drain, and you've just won the game. It also is great for pushing. Now for the extra deck, a lot of the extra deck isn't necessary. You could probably play through an entire tournament without an extra deck and it wouldn't make much of a difference, but it's nice to have in those tough situations where you have time to get over something but you don't have an out. So, Hieratic Sun Dragon Overlord of Heliopolis. I don't know why they're reprinting it already. It just came out, but it's going to be the next secret, the next wave of tins. It's great because you contribute any number of cards from your hand or your side of the field to destroy the same number of cards on your opponent's side of the field. So you can summon a Grapha, you contribute that Grapha, destroy on your opponent's side of the field, get over Reaper, get over Marshmallow, and get over the gay annoying stuff that you need to get rid of. It's 2 level 8s, so I just put 2 Graphas on top of each other. This card is absolutely nutty. What it does is, well, first of all, it has 4,500 attack. It takes 3 level 8s, so you need all 3 of your Graphas to set this guy up. But what he does is, you can detach 1 material from this card, detach all Xyz materials from all monsters your opponent controls, and he gains 500 attack points for each Xyz material, and he can attack as many times as Xyz materials that he detached. So if your opponent has an attack position, Utopia on the field with 2 materials, his effect will detach both materials. His attack goes to 5,500. You attack Utopia. Utopia destroys because of its effect. A replay occurs. You attack 5,500 directly. You attack 5,500 directly again. And even if you triple upstarted, that's 11,000 damage. That's a game. So that's absolutely nutty. And he looks really cool. Utopia, Utopia Ray, Maestro. You play Beige and Snow. I mean, I guess this can help you get over the Shining if you don't have a skill drain, if you're really low on life points, and you can somehow set up a play in 4K per game. You really don't find yourself going into level 3s ever, so I guess you don't really need them, but they're nice to have in those rare situations where you'll use them. Tempo, it's really funny to summon Tempo, but it's kind of a minus in this deck because it takes 2 of your 3 brows, and that's just a massive waste of resources. Acid Golem, 3k beater. You only want to use this when you have skill drain up, and for some reason you can't get a Grapha with gates on the field. Zenmain's basically a staple in every deck nowadays, so you're going to want to have to keep 1 in your deck. Leviathan Dragon, for those early turns, if you, whatever reason, you're putting your Leviathan on the field. And Levier for when you banish a card through gates and you want to do massive damage with whatever, you've got a Levier to use. And that's all I have. And, oh, my favorite card in the entire game is Kaiba Man. So go out and buy yourself some Kaiba Man. Rate, subscribe, and comment.